Hello everybody, welcome back to another Game Design 1 and 2 tutorial for the Unity IDE. So what we're going to talk about today very briefly is how to build a game and then zip the project file. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the File menu and look at Build Settings. Under Build Settings, you want to have all of the scenes that you intend to use in your game. It's ideal to put them in actual order in case you do use any scripting that talks about a next scene or a scene manager. So you can drag and drop these and move things up and down should you need to. Any scenes you decide not to build as part of your game, you can uncheck, like my pause screen that's not ready to go. I'm going to choose to set mine up to run on the PC, Mac, and Linux standalone system, meaning it's not going to work for iOS or Android or Apple TV or Xbox. It's just so we can test it on a PC. I'm going to make sure it says Windows here. If you have a 64-bit operating system, or a 64-bit processor, your computer really needs to be less than about 8 or 9 years old. Most of them are all 64-bit at this point. If it's a new computer, you can guarantee it's 64-bit. You also need to make sure you have a 64-bit operating system to fully utilize that processor. Again, your operating system came with your new computer. It's 64-bit for both. So that's the option we want to choose. And then we want to look at building. So you have two options, build and run. Build means it's going to compile the project and make it where it can actually have a self-executing file and run outside of Unity, which is the whole goal of using Unity, is to make a game that will run on its own on other people's computers who are not Unity developers. And then there's build and run, which means compile and build a game, but also bring up a running example so you can see what it would look like. We're going to, right now, choose to build, and then it's going to say, okay, where do you want to build your game, and what do you want to name the actual executable file that would launch the game in Windows, Mac, or Linux. By default, since we're on Windows, it's going to make it a .exe file, which is a file extension for an executable file in Windows. For my students that are doing this as part of their final exam project, you're going to build right inside your project folder. Give your game a name. As we press save, it will build the game and it will actually make the .exe file as well as build a new folder called data with your project file name. So this data file is going to be something that the exe file goes to and gets when it needs resources, and that's super important. Again, put this inside your root project folder. Please avoid students from putting it inside assets or any of these subfolders. It just makes it a little harder for me to find it. Put it inside your root folder. Press save. In my case, it's going to ask if you want to replace. You shouldn't run into this unless you're building for a second time. I'll say yes. The Unity application then will start building your game and piecing it all together. Depending on the size of your game and how many audio files you might have and how many levels, this could take several minutes to build. We're going to let this build and come back and take a look at how to run it and how to zip it. Okay, so at this point you should have a .exe file and a data folder. If we run our exe file, this is what it will look like. This is the actual final product that you'd give to anybody else and it would work without having Unity installed. It's going to ask you if you want to change any input settings for gamepad and keyboards unique to that computer. What resolution do you want? What quality of graphics? Again, the higher quality graphics, the more RAM it's going to use. And then what monitor, if you have more than one monitor on your desktop. Window just means it will show up as an application, such as this File Explorer window. If you uncheck it, it will make it full screen. I'm going to choose to make it Windows, so it's easier to close for me. You can see if you use the free version, the Unity splash screen does pop up. Okay, last step, and that is to zip our project folder so we can turn it on the classroom. You right-click on the folder and say Send to Compressed Zip. When it's completely done, it will make a .zip file. And students, this is the only file right here you need to turn in on the classroom. It'll have everything you need and everything from me to grade. Okay, that's it. Take care, everybody.